Please subscribe and support me. And one request, please always keep a smile on your face. I wasn't supposed to be in Chase's room. That was the rule my mom had thrown out casually, like it wasn't worth explaining, just don't. And for the first 6 months after she married his dad, I obeyed, without thinking. His door was always half shut, sometimes locked, and I had my own space anyway. But today, the apartment was quiet. My mom was at work, his dad was out of town, and Chase's door was open just enough to feel like an accident. Light spilled into the hall from the big window in his room, and something about that patch of sunlight on the carpet pulled me closer. I told myself I was just curious. Just a peek. But the moment I stepped inside, I knew I was crossing a line I wouldn't uncross. The first thing I noticed wasn't the mess. Although there were clothes on the chair, a jacket half off the bed, a coffee mug by the window, it was the smell. Not cologne exactly, but something warm, like cedar and soap and maybe him. I hesitated in the middle of the room, scanning the walls. There were framed photos, some old records, and on his desk, a black notebook. It was nothing special, just worn leather with a thin elastic band. But it was in the center, like it was meant to be noticed. I shouldn't have touched it. My fingers curled around the edge before I even thought about it, and when I slid it open, the handwriting hit me, sharp, confident, not the scrawl of random lists or homework. The words were almost poetic. Descriptions of a girl. Not a name, just pieces. The way she tucked her hair when she thought no one noticed, the habit she had of chewing her bottom lip when she was nervous, the color of her shirt last Tuesday. My stomach tightened. Those were my shirts, my habits. The floorboard in the hallway creaked. I snapped the notebook shut and spun around. Chase was leaning in the doorway, one arm braced against the frame, watching me with that unreadable look that made him seem older than 23. Looking for something? He asked, voice low. I swallowed hard. Your room was open. He stepped inside, closing the door behind him with a soft click that sounded louder in my ears. His eyes flicked to the notebook still in my hand. I set it down quickly, like it burned. You always go through people's things? No, I said, but my voice was smaller than I wanted. I didn't mean. You did, he said. Not accusing, just certain. He moved past me, his shoulder almost brushing mine, and sat on the edge of his bed. You read it. I didn't answer. My pulse was thudding too hard. He leaned back on his hands, studying me. You think it's about you. The air between us felt heavy. I wanted to step back, but my feet stayed planted. Is it? His mouth curved slightly, not a smile exactly. If you have to ask, the heat in my face wasn't just embarrassment. It was something sharper, a spark that made it hard to think. I realized how close I was to his desk, how his eyes kept dropping to where my fingers rested on the wood. You're not supposed to be in here, he said again, but softer this time. I nodded, but I still didn't move toward the door. The sunlight from the window shifted, catching in his hair, and for a second the whole room felt smaller. He stood, slow enough that I could hear the faint rustle of the bedsheets as he moved. You could leave, he said. Right now. I could. I didn't. His steps were unhurried as he crossed to the window, pulling the curtain just enough to let a thin strip of light cut across the floor. Then he turned back, and in that moment I realized this wasn't just about a notebook. The air felt like a held breath. Do you want me to tell you what's in it? He asked. I hesitated. I already saw. Not everything. His voice had dropped, and the way he said it made my pulse trip over itself. I should have walked out. I should have laughed it off. But I didn't. And when he stepped closer, stopping just in front of me, I didn't back away.